So at this point, I'd like to introduce or bring up Matt Harding from Max Ottawa to talk a little bit about the Maximizers program. There you go.
Thank you. Ooh, should I press OK? Maybe I'm just, my usual way says to just say yay. But okay, maybe not an appropriate joke to make, but my name is Matthew Harding. I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator at Max Ottawa, and today I'll be talking about something maybe that's a little different than what the other presenters have presented so far. Might be more of a tool or for you to take on or adopt within your own organizations or wherever you work if you see fit. So for those of you who don't know who Max is, we're Ontario's first standalone health organization for guys and to guys. We're a community-based organization by and for LGBTQ guys. We do most of our work on unceded Algonquin territories, now called the Ottawa and the Gatineau regions. Now, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Ottawa. Okay, great, that's awesome. Happy to hear that and see. So as you might know, Gatineau is actually just on the other side of the river of Ottawa and is actually, so those two regions are separated by two separate provinces. So we work with people that live in the Ontario province, and then we work also with people that work on the Quebec side, so which can be quite complicated. Number one, because Quebec, we mostly work with French people. In Ontario, we mostly work with English people. We also work with two completely separate health authorities, two different ministries. So I'm sure you can imagine how challenging that can be in sometimes. So we also recognize, similar to Health Initiative for Men, thank you, that health is very complex and is multidimensional. So we always try to develop programs keeping in mind mental health, physical health, social health, spiritual health, and sexual health is the one I missed. Yeah, surprised about that, considering where we're at. So that's Max in a nutshell. So what we mostly do is we try to get guys connected to culturally competent health and wellness services. And then we also try to get guys connected to other guys through community activities, programs, and leadership opportunities. So that's what we do. These are some of the programs we offer. Not the ones I'm going to be talking about today, but I invite you all to meet some of the staff that are from Max that are here at the summit and get to know more about us. So the program that I'm here to present you all today is the Community Maximizer program. When we first created the organization, and how I'm saying this is, we're literally 2 years old as an organization. We're like little Gaby. We're super young, and when we first created the organization, we needed to think how we were going to reach as many people as we could with little amount of resources, time, and staff. So I came up with the idea of creating this micro-grant program that would basically give the opportunity to community leaders to propose projects or ideas and then to develop their leadership skills so that they could implement and deliver this program within their own communities. So basically, in a nutshell, it's a micro-grant program. We give about up to $1,000 to these community leaders. We build leadership skills with them, and we help them kind of like implement and evaluate their programs. So that's what the program looks like. How it works is community leaders go through an application process. Our applications go through a selection committee, which is composed of community members from diverse experiences and backgrounds, some board members and some staff members. The selection committee also makes sure that the projects somewhat fit within the vision and the mission of our organization and helps us, achieve that. Then if the project is approved, we provide leadership training, like I was saying, to the community leaders, and then we help them kind of like develop their program and implement it. And after the program is done, we evaluate it. So there's 2 levels of evaluations. We do an evaluation with the actual community members that access the pilot intervention, and then we also do an evaluation with the actual community leader to see how the program is going and where we should be going next with these communities. So I'm gonna let our community leaders speak a little bit. I don't know if this is gonna work. Maybe I'm just gonna go off-road a little bit. Is this connected to the internet? Yeah. Okay, sweet. Amazing. We love technology. Oh, do I? Okay. Thank you for letting me know that you weren't seeing what I was doing there. It's just going to take a hot second. So how would I escape? Like, how would I leave my slideshow? The X on the corner. Like, press yay, press OK, not working. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Oh, no?
Don't worry, we'll get there. This is me pretending to know what I'm doing.
Oh, there we go.
Well, now you've got to do the reach around.
You're amazing.
Is that
That's
the one
okay.
you want? That
Yes.
one? All right.
Okay. Now I've already, oh, is there sound?
We'll figure that out next.
Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have included a video in my presentation. I was trying to be cool and like, you know, trying to do something different.
All right.
Oh, the sound isn't really on the computer, so maybe
Computer's
that's...
not be on. This is true.
maybe I can, like,
Oh, here we go.
and you can just press play and not restart it. Because we don't really, or you can do that too. Perfect.
Well, how I would describe a community maximizer project is you have an idea or thought about how to improve the life of, or queer life in Ottawa, and you take that idea to Max, and they work with you and give you the funding and support you need to get that idea into a reality.
Well, the Community Max project that we're planning to, well, that we're implementing is basically a program of social and discussions between gay seniors. I think there's a need for this in the area, and it's filling a very big gap that was existing.
The name of the program is Gay Muslims Communal Cooking Night, and program bring LGBTQ newcomers from Muslim majority countries and some non from Muslim majority countries, as well as we expect some Canadians to learn a little bit more about our culture as well. We get together, we cook together, and we enjoy the meal together, we dance together, and we share family-like atmosphere to be a peer sport for one another here in Canada.
Donc le nom de mon programme, de mon activité, c'est la soirée gay francophone est fière. Et l'objectif, c'était d'organiser une soirée pour les francophones, de la communauté gay francophone des deux côtés de la rivière, dans la région d'Ottawa-Gatineau.
Well, I feel like Keeping It 100 responded to a service gap in the community because by observation, I noticed that there was a lack of queer Black spaces. And so as I started talking about K1 to other community members, there was definitely a need and a positive response to the program.
And I believe that the only thing that I could say about that is that I can see some budding friendships starting, people interacting. I've been to the bowling for the OSPN, and I've noticed some of the group coming over to the bowling. They didn't know it existed before. So there's an exchange of information that is very much needed in order to make people more at ease with the situation that they're in.
So many of the participants that came to 3 events, they showed great appreciation, and I realized that this is important for them. Not just the participant that's coming to our dinners. We just received a message 2 days ago. Someone emailed to us and asking, I wish this was happening in Toronto as well. There's a big need for it, and it is really important to give newcomers something from their own culture and from their own identity.
Donc, je veux juste remercier Max Ottawa. Sans la contribution de Max Ottawa, on n'aurait pas pu organiser la soirée gay francophone et fière. On avait créé un groupe des gays francophones de l'Outaouais au mois de mai de l'année passée, mais on n'avait pas vraiment de financement pour organiser des activités, puis surtout pas des activités de cette taille-là. Donc, ça nous a permis d'organiser l'activité, d'aller chercher d'autres financements, d'acquérir l'expérience et aussi maintenant d'avoir une crédibilité si on veut répéter l'expérience auprès, par exemple, auprès de sponsors ou de partenaires. Donc, ça a vraiment permis d'aller chercher des opportunités pour le futur.
So what types of projects are...
I'll just end it there. So that was pretty amazing, right? Hearing from the people actually in the community doing the work. Thank you for bringing this back up. So some of the other projects that actually weren't highlighted in this video that we've been working on with community leaders involve a sex work project. Perfect. I think we just, yeah, perfect. We also developed an art-based social support group, a project targeted bi and pan folks, and then another one which was a Middle Eastern and Northern African social group, social discussions group. Thank you. I'm actually almost done, so this is great. Maybe I should have given you a little bit more time. So some of the successes we've seen coming out of this, I can't even see my PowerPoint anymore, so I'm just gonna kindly flirt over to the side because I have no idea what I put on there. No, I'm joking. So some high success in using evaluation data to demonstrate the community needs to funders, so programs could be upscaled within our organization. So that's been a huge success for us because we were a very new organization, like I was saying earlier, and we were able to use some of the data from the evaluations of the pilot interventions to then go to funders and demonstrate the need so that they could be like, yeah, this seems like something that could work because it did work and we could prove that to them. So it was really cool. And we've seen actually a lot of our now permanent programs come from our community maximizer program. So that's really fun. It's low cost and highly effective integrated peer-led pilot interventions. Like I said, most of them cost at a maximum $1,000, which is pretty incredible. All programs report the importance of peer-led community-based interventions. I think we heard it in the videos, right? Interventions that are done by and for the people that actually live specific experiences. And then all programs also reported filling an important service gap within the nation's capital region. So although some of these things that you heard in our video might not be, a service gap in your region, they were seriously a gap within ours. So we were really happy to provide those spaces for those people that were kind of like intersectional and representative of what they wanted to see. Some other success, so some groups reported observing like increase in resiliency, decrease in isolation, and increase in the exchange of culturally specific knowledge. Major success in connecting with historically marginalized and forgotten communities. This was huge for us. We were really worried at the beginning, that we weren't going to be able to reach everyone, that we would be forgetting some people, and this really gave the opportunity for us to connect with those communities in very significant and meaningful ways, so that was really great. It also helped us create a strong sense of community at Max. We're still seeing all of these people, within our spaces, and they're still coming to us because we've created a space for them that is safe and that is accessible and where they can see themselves represented in. So that's been really huge for us. And then high levels of volunteerism and volunteer retention with extremely diverse populations within our organization. And I think that speaks highly to the success of the program. Now, of course, there are challenges as well. So the program's success is somewhat reliant on community leaders. So although we do a lot of outreach and we try to, engage with diverse communities and try to do things that are very, very innovative, sometimes there's just a lack of representation, and it's really hard sometimes to, get extremely marginalized communities to take on leadership roles because they're often overutilized. I'm sure you've all experienced this as well. It also requires a lot of support and time from our staffing end. So there's a lot of, depending on who applies as the leader, they come in with different skills set and different knowledge base. So it's our job to, give them as much as we can to build them in a way that they can then deliver their program in the best possible way. And then outreach to, also the number of available, accessible, and safe space within our community is really an issue. So a lot of these programs need actual physical spaces to be delivered in. And in Ottawa, it's actually very sad, but we don't have a lot of safe and culturally specific spaces where those programs can happen. So we've been having a really tough time at trying to find those spaces, or even just building, spaces that could potentially become safe or allied to our communities. Outreach to certain communities, so Indigenous, Two-Spirit folks, and guys without permanent housing are groups of communities that we haven't been able to target with this program for multiple reasons. And our organization's location and reach within our region, so our health authority in Ottawa is the LHIN, and if you're familiar with the LHIN in Ottawa, it actually goes, so if you're downtown Ottawa, it goes about 2 hours west and 2 hours the other way. Like it's an extremely large region, and our reach is just unfortunately, you know, not there yet. We're not all the way out into Peterborough, or if any of you know where that is, or we're not. Yeah, you do. Thank you. So it's always a challenge in trying to engage those communities that are really, really far away from our actual physical location. But we're hoping that in the future that can be, you know, where we can target some of our outreach. So those are some of the challenges. So like I said at the beginning of the presentation, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've kind of enjoyed the program that I presented, and feel free to reach out to me if you ever feel like this is something that could fit within your programs or within your organization, and I'd be more than happy to share the tools or how we've implemented it with you. So thank you very much.